Morning, everybody. Like and describe if you agree with my post now, with my video. Now let's get straight to it. Starting with chapter 13, verse 14. I'm starting in the middle. By hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see and shall not perceive. Now what this means is that if you do not accept truth, then you shall hear and shall not understand, and see and not understand what you're seeing. Why? Verse 15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, and their eyes they have closed, meaning you're not trying to see or hear the truth. You prefer the delusion of the illusion that you create in your mind when you refuse to see what you see and hear what you hear. Let me go back beginning of verse 15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. Now, what Jesus is talking about is that when you decide to see with your ears and hear, when you decide to see with your eyes and hear with your ears, the Spirit of God within you will convert you. And you know this. You know that when truth is what? Truth is knowledge. Truth is knowledge. And when you see the truth, you understand the truth, you do what? You acknowledge the truth. And then you go through a spiritual change. You go through a spiritual change. I've heard a lot of Caucasians say, I didn't own slaves. My family didn't own slaves. No, they didn't. But through your refusal to see with your eyes and hear with your ears, you allowed yourself to be manipulated by the rich. You allowed yourself to be manipulated by the rich, because guess what? You're right. You didn't own slaves. You didn't profit from owning slaves, but you allowed the rich to use you so that they could profit from slaves. And the slaves were the people who took your jobs or the jobs you could have had. The slaves took the jobs that you could have had. Slaves just weren't picking cotton. They weren't just planting tobacco or sugar cane. They were carpenters. They built Washington, D.C. They were craftsmen. They worked in shipyards. They built houses. They built roads. They did jobs that your grandparents could have had and profited from. But they manipulated you because you allowed them to manipulate you by telling you that because your skin is white, you are they and they are you. But you were never them, and they will never be you, because they're not going to allow themselves to fall into poverty, and they're not going to allow you to rise to their standard of living. And this is true even to this day, because your support of racism is why you are in the situation that you are in. And this is why the rich, the 1-2%, control 80% of the wealth in this country. The 1 or 2% controls 80% of the wealth in this country. And you allowed them to do this when you fell for the trickle down okie doke. Reagan did not tell you he was going to give you what your work was worth. He did not tell you he was going to give you what your work was worth. He told you he's going to give you what trickled down. He told you he was going to give you what trickled down. Now let me ask you a question. Is there honor among thieves? Is there honor among thieves? And you know why people ask that question? Because there is no honor among thieves. There is no honor among thieves. That's why they ask the question. And if there was honor among thieves, the person would not be a thief. The person would not be a thief. No, there is no honor among thieves. That's why thieves will tell on thieves for a lighter sentence. Because there's no honor among thieves. Matthew 19, verse 23. Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Why? Knowing this, why are you voting for rich people? The Bible put 2 and 2 together. Who owns the media? Rich people. And you're watching TV and you are believing what rich people are telling you, even though you know they have rigged the system. They have rigged the system to do what? To keep them rich. Trump has paid less taxes than most of you all have. And you know this. And you know he's lying to you. But you have done what? You've closed your eyes. And you stop hearing. And what is that going to create? It's going to create ignorance. You have made yourself ignorant. You have made yourself ignorant for what purpose? For serving white skin. But the reality of the situation is not about white skin. It's about money. And your white skin is not the same as the white skin of a rich person. They are doing everything they can to hold you back and to keep you down. They didn't say, Reagan didn't say, if you work, I'm going to give you what you're worth. He said he's going to give you what trickles down. And what trickles down is what falls off the table. It's not what you earn. You've been manipulated. You've been manipulated. But how did you become manipulated? You close your eyes and you close your ears and you expected to become intelligent by shutting out the truth, knowing that truth is knowledge. Truth is knowledge. Knowledge is what you gain from your past mistakes. And when you use that knowledge that you've gained from your past mistake, history does not repeat itself. History only repeats itself when you fail to use the knowledge of the past. What does make America great again mean? It means don't use the knowledge that you accumulate in the past. Go back and keep repeating the same stupid stuff over and over again. Trump may as well have told you, keep accepting what trickles down. Now, Trump is rich. And the Bible tells you that this man is not going to heaven. So why are you listening to him? Because your eyes are shut, and so are your ears. And and when you do this, you plan to be ignorant. Then you wonder why history repeats itself. But the rich will tell you history repeats itself, but they won't tell you why it repeats itself. History repeats itself, and they make history repeat itself, and they plan on history repeating itself. Why? So that they can stay rich. If you're going to read the Bible truthfully, and then it will add up, because truth adds up. But if you're reading the Bible and then you're posting pictures of a white Jesus, and the Bible says Jesus is black. If you're reading the Bible and it tells you that rich people aren't going to heaven, which means you shouldn't listen to them, you ignore that, expect to be in the same situation over and over and over again. Expect history to repeat itself. You're not going to make progress being stuck in the past. Make America great again is not a progressive theory that's going to allow you to evolve. You want to evolve. You want to change for the better. You don't want to stay stuck and stupid. You don't want what trickles down. You want what you earn. You want what you earn. But the simple fact of the matter is, if they stop paying you what you earn, then they'll make more money on their stocks. This is why they refuse to raise the minimum wage. This is why they refuse to raise the minimum wage, because the rich own what? Stock. And if they give you a raise, then they are giving you more of what you deserve, which lessens what they get and don't deserve. And how do they do this? They manipulate you through TV and the radio. But they can only do this when you decide to live in an illusion. When you decide to live in an illusion, then you're not going to go anywhere, because that's not reality. I'm going to end here, and like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a blessed day.